Oh, hi everybody. Welcome
Hello.
back to Often Wrong.
Hell
Uh
yeah.
Today we are um the mice playing while the cat is away because producer Joe got married this month and left us to fend for ourselves. So this is going to be an impeccably unedited podcast episode.
I'm excited
It's
for it.
It's a real treat.
We're not going to have someone to have oversight to cut out the parts where we're super, super wrong. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. Well, and we've already spent like 30 minutes trying to get into our recording studio
Uh-huh.
and log in and start a recording, and it was good, but we made it, and
I also can only hear out of one side of my headphones, which
yeah,
producer
it's
Joe
good.
would have helped me fix, but
Yes,
he's not here.
he's
So
not
I'm
here.
just going to go half deaf into this
It's great.
conversation.
No, it's perfect. I think that's what God intended for this.
Also, okay, side note, because if producer Joe was here, he wouldn't let us say this or he would cut it out. But since he's not
Mhm.
here, we can
Yes.
say it. Producer Joe just won two more Emmys last week.
Additional 2 Emmys, bringing his total to 4 Emmys.
That's
We are incredibly
crazy.
proud. We love you, producer Joe.
He's
And
real good.
yeah, and shout out to his beautiful wife, Haley. Ugh, he got very lucky with her. We love Haley and happy for both of them, but
Oh yeah.
especially happy for producer Joe because he did very well for himself with Haley.
Oh
So,
my God, something that was so funny after his new wife posted about his two new Emmys, and I responded and said, "Hell yeah, brother." And then when he responded to it, I went to go look, and it's basically just me. And the only thing I ever say to him in response is, "Hell yeah, brother." And
oh,
I
that's
didn't
really
know that I
cute.
was doing that, but that's like the whole conversation.
That's priceless.
Yeah.
Well, it was cute because without even thinking about it, you in our group text, I said, "Proud of you, Sister Joe," or something like that because he's Sister Joe. We have a all-female company, including Sister Joe, who is a man, but
Yeah.
it's okay. And you said, "Hell yeah, brother." So again, a lot of gender diversity, sexual orientation
Very
diversity.
inclusive.
Yes, very inclusive. He is an honorary lesbian, as we have bestowed upon him. And
He happily
yeah,
accepted.
he happily accepted,
Oh my God, he's gonna be
as
so
one
mad that
should.
we spent like 5 minutes talking about
He's going
him.
to be so upset about this. I'm really relishing that actually.
I
This
love
is great.
that.
But to get into it, today we are talking in this mini episode, mini-sode, if you will, about conspiracy theories and stuff that we want you to prove us wrong about it. Prove us wrong. These might be outlandish things, but you know
I
what?
bet you can't.
We are with no government right now. Well, actually, okay, that is true in multiple senses, but um, our podcast has no governing body with Joe gone, so we're just gonna say some outlandish shit, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and just to talk about my credentials, I am an Aquarius, so I am an expert in conspiracy theories. I've heard most of them. I don't take a lot of them on because a lot
Hmm.
of times people will tell me a conspiracy, and I'm like, you know what? There's too much going on right now, so that's probably true, and I'm going to leave that with you. But there is a couple that I'm going to bring up today that are really close to my heart and important.
Beautiful, thank you. And this is like there's some. I feel like there was a meme of like a guy on the side of the road with a sign that says like an opinion and then it's like prove me wrong. This is that little kiosk today. This is
Yeah.
our kiosk and our sign is prove us wrong.
And also, we always tell you to like leave your feedback in the comment section of where you're listening to this or at our website at carrotimpact.com/often wrong. but this is a good time to either prove us wrong or give us other conspiracy theories.
Yes.
I would
Let's
love that
go
if people go to our
off.
comment section. They're just like, what kind of podcast is this? Everyone's just saying
I
like crazy shit in the
know.
comments.
I know. And these are things that we mostly actually completely believe and
Yeah.
things that maybe shape our worldview slash our worldview has shaped them. So, I'm no scientist, but I will be delving into things that I'm very excited to stir the pot with today.
Okay, well, to kick us off, this is a part that I feel strongly about. Well, one, I heard this quote a couple of months ago that I thought was so funny. And it was like, the difference between a conspiracy and the truth is 6 months, which I think is so
Mm,
funny.
that's so good.
Sometimes true. And
Mm,
also, I really just want to make a point here, a semantics point, that people always use the term conspiracy to mean not true, but that's not what
mhm.
conspiracy means. Conspiracy means a group of people work together to do something. You can literally get arrested and charged and go to jail for conspiracy, which means that it is a real thing that you can do. It doesn't automatically mean fake. The
Yeah.
part that makes it mean maybe not true is conspiracy theory, because theory means maybe unproven.
Yes.
So I think
But
that's a good place
even
to start to ground that.
theory is also not even necessarily unproven. It's
Yeah.
it's thinking about the like the theoretical or the structural like underpinnings of something. It's like I took a lot of political theory classes and it's understanding the how behind things. So like this is not necessarily wrong things. We're just thinking about I mean, honestly, conspiracy doesn't even feel like the right terminology for this, you know?
Yeah.
It's, to me at least, because there's, well, I guess also collusion is a thing. Like, none of this
All
has
this
any
to say, people
collusion.
use a lot of
Yeah.
words they don't understand.
Yes, true. Including us sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but I agree. I think that was a good way to kick off the conversation.
I
And
also wanted to bring up the conspiracy theory about the term conspiracy theory, which is that
why?
conspiracy theory was created by the CIA, which makes so much sense.
Check.
It
Yes.
is, I mean, if you Google it, it says it's like so far unproven, but I'm like, the
Mhm.
CIA would say that. So, and it's like it started with the JFK assassination, and things were published about that, and because of that, that's when the CIA people were like, oh, they came out with this term to basically discredit people who have theories about like the government being behind
Amen.
things, and
Yes.
the government is usually behind things, so it makes
Hmm.
sense that they would put out this term to like scramble us and make us
Hmm.
not notice what's happening. Not gonna
Hmm.
get me. I noticed.
Um, I'm so glad you brought this up because this leads into my credentials, which is that my junior year of high school, senior year of high school, one of the two, I took this college writing class and we had to write like a big 20-page research paper, which was fewer and further between in high school than it was in college for me. Um, and I wrote mine on the JFK assassination, and I talked
Ooh.
about every single conspiracy theory that's mainstream and what like just examining the theories out there and then examining and I also which this is not a should not have happened in a real research paper, but I got to slip in what I thought happened. And yeah, I still have that paper saved on my computer and I read it recently and it was fascinating. And my God, I was not a very good writer when I was 16 years old, but fascinating. So those are my credentials.
I want to read that. It sounds
Yeah.
good.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
It's 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 a good time. Um I think I said the CIA did it, but I don't fully remember.
You know what? They definitely did. It just,
Yeah, but
I
there was
realized
like
this leads me to a
yeah.
conspiracy theory that I have right now, where I'm just
Mm.
like, we have so many like evil bad guy politicians, and there aren't political assassinations anymore, but there's more guns than ever. So I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. And it's like,
I know.
oh, it only makes sense if the government did all of them and then they stopped, because it doesn't make sense that the people The people are not more sane and less violent now. That's not true.
That's
So,
true.
I feel like that proves the conspiracy.
That's so interesting. Okay, good point. We're off to a great start.
Thank
Um,
you.
do you want to start with one of your theories?
Yes, this
Okay.
one is really important to me. I could talk about Taylor Swift, but I'm not going to because I have proof on that one, and I really don't want the Swifties to come after me right now. So
Yeah.
instead, I'm going to talk about Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend. Heaviest quotes you could possibly give.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Styles. So
Mm,
last summer, I was never a One Direction fan. I do really like Harry Styles' last album. It was really fun and queer and a good
totally.
time. But I got a lot of TikToks last summer about Harry Styles and Larry Tomlinson. Not Larry Tomlinson, Lewis Tomlinson and Harry Styles. I said Larry because they combined their name into Larry.
Oh,
Because I was getting all these videos last summer, all of a sudden, of their time in One Direction and like all the proof and like the little looks and the hugs and the comments and the evidence that they were actually dating the whole time.
oh,
So I was sold,
yeah.
obviously, because that is so cute and I love them
I
together
love
and I want them
that.
to be together. And I think that like maybe they will be together one day.
Yeah, that's cute.
I have no skin in this game. Like I said, I didn't even really know who Lewis Tomlinson was until I started
Is that
getting the
the right
Larry.
name? Is it Louis?
Lewis? I don't know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think
I
it's
don't know
Louis.
this
We
guy.
we don't know what we're talking about with
I don't know
One
this guy,
Direction,
but
but
I do
but
know that
yes.
he is Harry Styles' soulmate. So
Oh, that's so
that there's
sweet.
just like so many things where it was like where they were, their beard girlfriends,
Yeah,
comments that they made, how they lived together, and like the stuff they would tweet about. There was just like a lot of little things. And you know what? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Every
yeah.
time I've thought that
Amen.
someone was gay, they are. And I've never been wrong. Even if they aren't out yet, I know that they will be one day.
Yes.
And so I feel very confident about that. And that's just like a huge conspiracy that I feel like if you haven't seen it, please look up Larry Stylinson on TikTok
So
because
cute.
it's just a lot of good content and it was really fun. It was really something to dig into. I feel like at least twice a year I need to like fall into like a trap of some kind on the internet of like really compelling content to distract myself from the outside world and it's really good for my spirit and my mental health.
Yes.
So
Amen.
if you're struggling, look up Larry Silenson because I
Very
feel 100%
silencing.
sure that they were in a relationship. They might still be in a relationship and that they will be together forever.
God bless. All the love to them. We wish you a thousand blessings.
Yes, me
Um,
too. It gets better.
that's super sweet. I love
Yeah.
that. And yeah, I love Harry Styles. I was never a One Direction fan, but like Harry's just like a stylish, no pun intended, but that's kind of annoying. Um, he's just like God, he's just got it, you know? And he's like so creative and artistic. I think he's extremely, extremely talented. And
Watermelon Sugar, great
Louis,
song.
great song, great song. And I'm sorry, a straight man could not write that song.
I'd agree.
No, it just can't. No, nope, that couldn't happen. Like, I just don't think it could. I really don't. So, all the love to them. Um, well, I can come out with mine, which is
Please do.
I love that we started off on that note. That's sweet. This note is a little worse, and I am opening myself up to a lot of criticism, which I welcome. And look, I'll preface this and say, I know it's probably not all there, but there are a lot of component parts of this theory that feel and appear very true. So, my conspiracy theory is that the government uses hormonal birth control to control women and to keep us down under the
Honestly, without you
guise,
saying anything further, I already am in. Yeah.
yes. Um, and this is under the guise of it being autonomy, freedom, our own, taking control of our own fertility, etc. And no. So okay, and I'm not talking about like Margaret Sanger, the patron saint of birth control, like back in the 20s, who, first was like, oh my God, everyone keeps having babies because we can't stop. So, like, let's help out here and do something a little different. And, that's great. That, like, that initial and the initial impetus of all of this sound I'm supportive of. However, um, now we are in an acute state of this like wide availability of hormones that are often prescribed for literally everything. Acne, PCOS, all things that have nothing to do with contraception. Um, but it's all been the onus has only been on women, or it's like condoms, but men don't want to use condoms.
Right.
So, no, it has to be on the woman, and she has to destroy her body. And like there have been a lot of very interesting studies also that and I just realized I'm doing the like Trump thing with my hand, so I'm gonna just sit on my hand. I while I'm discussing science conspiracy theories, but they have done studies on like how hormonal birth control impairs women's judgment, especially when it comes to picking a partner. It like messes with our ability to perceive, who's a right match for us and suss out, okay, what's gonna be good here, what's, kind of a red flag. And I don't know if that's, pheromones or whatever. I don't pretend to know any of this. And I also will say there is absolutely a time and a place for hormonal therapy. Of course there is. But I think it is massively overprescribed when we could be doing different things. So I say this as somebody who also literally cannot be on hormonal birth control. I have like severe reactions to my mental health. Any kind of progesterone, which is synthetic progesterone, makes me immediately suicidal. Like immediately. Like,
That's how my freshman year roommate was too.
yeah,
It really
bad.
negatively affected her. It's so funny you say this because I actually saw a TikTok earlier this week of this girl who was saying, she was like, why does every doctor want to put me on birth control? And she was
Yes,
like, first of all, I'm a lesbian. So I said I didn't need it. And they're like, well, you could use it to regulate your period. And she was like, my period's regular. I never said I had a problem with that.
exactly.
And they just kept being like, no, you should be on birth control. And she was like, for what reason?
No, 100%. God, I keep doing the hand thing. This is actually like a problem. That's completely true. I first was prescribed hormonal birth control because I had just started my period and I was like, ow, it hurt and was heavy. And my doctor was like, okay, we'll put you on birth control. And I was 15, late bloomer over here. But I was
Wow.
15. I was not anywhere near needing a contraceptive. Well, not that far away. I fucked, but like cool. But no, I was pretty far. I was realistically pretty far away from needing anything like that. And it was just like, okay. And after 2 weeks of being on it, I was miserable. I had acne for the first time in my life. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't want to be on this. She was like, get off it. Like, don't be on it. I was like, what the fuck is this? It feels very weird. And instead of looking at things comprehensively and saying, okay, how are, you know, access to food, stress, lifestyle, other mental health things. Like I've had people try to put me on it for mental health reasons, and it just feels like this one size fits all thing that is very rooted in pharmaceutical industry profits and
Definitely.
political convenience, and it's very good for big pharma and keeping us docile and worried about our own health, and but making us think, oh, we have control over this and we don't. Like, no,
You
no,
know,
that's really bad.
it's so funny. This that was my first thought actually was that it was about big pharma, which is basically the government.
Yes.
Because I read a book about the Sackler family, and the opioid epidemic. And when I read that book, it really blew my mind because certain things like the Sackler family invented medical or pharmaceutical advertising. And I didn't know that. And like opioids too, like opioids came up when I was like in my early teens. So as
Yeah.
far as I knew, opioids always existed. I didn't know that they were new, and I
Right.
didn't know that like pharmaceutical advertising was also relatively new. So
Hmm.
seeing how it like interplays with the government and how they use each other
Yes.
to, I mean, make money off of us, it's one of those things. I feel like a lot of times when you hear a conspiracy theory, a good one, you'll be like, duh, that was right
Yeah.
there. I don't
Yep.
know why I didn't see that. But
Yep.
yeah, that book was really crazy. And that was my first thought when I saw that thing about like people in the comments were like, yeah, they always want to put me on birth control.
Yeah.
And that happened to me too. I'm a lesbian and I was on birth control once because my period was irregular, to be fair. It didn't regulate my period, but it did give me a headache every day at 3 p.m.
Oh, good. That's
It
nice.
was
Well,
really
that's the
weird.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It offered you predictability, Lisa.
Yes, I
And isn't
did.
that what you
Something
wanted?
was regular. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
something was regular. Exactly. Yeah. You know, this to me is such a huge thing. And I will offer what I think solutions should be, which is more non-hormonal birth control options, obviously. Something that I am particularly passionate about is vasogel, which has been adopted in India and many other nations since like the 80s, which is essentially a temporary, completely reversible uh, injection that like mirrors a vasectomy and or mimics a vasectomy. It just, I can get into the gross science part, but I don't really want to talk about vas deferens on camera today, and Joe would have cut that part out, but it's gonna stay in. Um, but like you just like insert a little bit of gel so there's no like reproductive ability from a man. It lasts up to like 10 years. It's completely non-invasive and the onus isn't on women. Yay, love, great.
That sounds nice.
It sounds nice and it is nice. And obviously, there are copper IUDs, which I had bad experiences with, but they work great for a lot of women. Um, there's a lot of ways to, have non-hormonal birth control right now, but it involves being very, very conscientious. And I think the best way, especially if you don't have a consistent partner, is just condoms. Even if you do have a consistent partner, like condoms for, female male sexual encounters. And then
I
for the
just thought
other
of something.
stuff, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You can continue because I have to change the subject because I thought of a real conspiracy theory that I haven't heard other people talk about that's
Okay,
related to
good.
this.
Well, I'll just say again, like, let's talk about other ways to fix, like, why are your periods irregular? Is that a problem? Like, what are the things that we need to do? Like, you might need health support in other ways. Let's be a little bit more comprehensive and let's stop fucking giving everybody hormones
Or
at
maybe instead of putting the hormones in the women, take the hormones out of the food and we might all be good. We'll save
Oh,
money.
mm-hmm. Wow.
A thought,
Wow. That's mic drop. Yes.
literally.
Amen. Take hormones out of our food. Period.
Just something to think about.
Something to think about.
Okay, well, actually, this brings me to a conspiracy theory that I just came up with a couple of weeks ago. We were hanging out with a group of girls, me and my wife. All these girls are straight, and they were talking about UTIs. And me and my wife have never had a UTI before. And they were all so shocked to hear that.
That's so interesting.
And I was like, you know why it is? It's the men. That's
Amen.
what's happening. I used to make this argument to some of my other friends, and they would talk about like sleeping around with men, and I was like, "Are you using protection?" Some of them weren't, and I remember we were at the bathroom in this at this club, and I was just yelling at my friend. And sorry, this episode is PG-13 now, but I was
Yeah.
just yelling in the bathroom, and I was just like, "You're just letting loose dicks all around your body. That's disgusting. Like you can't do that." And then other girls were coming out of the stalls, and they were like, "She's exactly right." And then this one girl came out, and she was like, "You know what? I know you weren't talking to me, but I needed to hear that." And I was like, "Yeah, you did."
Oh
That's
my
gross.
God.
Because think about it. You remember that thing on the internet a couple of years ago where we found out that, well, a lot of white people, but definitely men, don't wash their legs? You know what's connected to their legs?
What? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true. But no, wait, what? White people don't wash their legs?
Yeah, it started because Taylor Swift said she doesn't wash her legs, and then it started this whole thing on Twitter where a bunch of white people were saying, "Well, no, the water like runs down. You don't need to wash your legs." And I was like, "That's disgusting. I don't know what you're talking about."
That's
And it was
horrific.
revealed that like a lot of men never wash their legs, and a lot of white people don't wash their legs, and that's crazy. But then it just really made
No.
me think: if they're not washing their legs, you think they're washing their little guys?
I hope to God, but
I
I
doubt it.
don't know now. Oh my God. This is horrific.
And then, thus, we have an epidemic of UTIs,
UTIs.
and they don't need to happen because I've never had one.
Yeah, amen. I've actually never had a UTI either, but
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
sheer luck.
yeah. And I think you probably married a clean guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I have more to say about this, but I will not do it on the air. I will not do it on the air. But wow, this is so profound, and it just really seems like women are screwed from all regards, and men just get to walk through the world like, I don't have to worry about birth control today. Like, great.
Or washing their lower
Or
halves.
washing. That's so disturbing to me. Like,
Yeah, it should
that,
be.
no,
It's a public
please wash
health
your
crisis.
legs. Yeah, that's the really unspoken public health crisis. And I think, yeah, coming soon to Carrot Impact, wash your legs,
Campaign,
our
wash your legs
campaign,
campaign.
wash your
Stop
legs campaign.
UTIs, wash your lower half.
Amen. I also don't get how a lot of people don't use lotion. Like a lot of
That's
men
crazy to me.
apparently don't use lotion. Like, who
Do you
are
use a
you?
washcloth or something in the in a shower?
No, because it kind of grosses me out. Like I have these Korean Italy mitts that I use from time to time, and I like wash them in between to like slough off dead skin. Yum.
Yeah. No, I use those
And
too. I use a net instead
yeah,
of a
you use a
washcloth.
net. I've heard of
Hmm.
good things about those, but like I used a loofah when I was younger, and I was like, I
No,
just
loofahs
feel like
gross me out.
loofahs are gross, and like you can't rinse a loofah out.
Yeah.
That's nasty. No.
Yeah, I think the net or a washcloth is good because for me, I just feel like you're not getting enough suds if you use your hands, and
Mm.
that's a
I get
cultural divide as well.
I get decent suds. They're fine. I wouldn't say they're like superb,
Yeah.
but I feel clean, which is, good,
Yeah.
I think. So that's nice. Yeah, yeah, it all is falling back onto women. Did you want to talk about Diddy?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, this isn't really a conspiracy. I think this is obvious.
Everyone's
Obviously,
implicated.
like Diddy did it. That's, the joke, but it's also true. But
Duh.
also the way that I was thinking about it is I think it's so weird. This like comes back, this touches on so many topics we talked about this season, one of them being like cancel culture.
Hmm.
And how this isn't really cancel culture. He did like bad stuff. But also it just really made me think when we are talking about it, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they let this go unchecked for so long. But I was like, well, think about it. You had like Epstein, super topical right now, who is at the top of this industry doing all of these things. We have Diddy in another industry doing all of these things.
Hmm.
These are the faces of the thing. I don't think that it doesn't exist at the top of every industry.
Oh, for sure.
So that's my
Yeah.
conspiracy there. I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think it's obvious, but let me know, prove me wrong if you think. But like, he did not work in a silo. That doesn't make sense. And I
Yeah.
think the way that the case is going and what he got charged with, I think they're making an example out of him because actually I would say probably like thousands, if not more people would be directly implicated in what's happening.
Yeah.
And that was kind of hard for me to wrestle with at first because I was like, oh, damn. It was
Yeah.
like kind of like a whisper and everyone kind of knew some weird stuff was happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, you really have to be like mask off and be like, wow, okay, it's like a lot of you.
Sex abuse is so rampant.
It's so rampant. It's the biggest moneymaker in the world. And I think
Yep.
people should talk about that more.
I agree.
It's
And
not
I
like a
feel like,
fringe, seedy business. It's like the business.
no, it's the business. And I feel like if SVU has taught me anything, it's that this is everywhere. And it is, though. It is. Like, it firmly is. And I feel like with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, which he definitely did not kill himself. I'll just throw that in for good measure.
Definitely.
No shot. Um, no, an egomaniac like that. No. No, he didn't. He was murdered. Um, but like we were robbed of really getting a chance to reconcile with a lot of things. And, you know, this is it's so pervasive. And especially like child sex abuse like is so rampant, young men and women or young girls and boys. Um like look at the Catholic Church. Look at the I mean and the myths about like trafficking that it's like, you know, these like gang rings of, foreign bodies. The US is a massive hub for trafficking and we have a lot of domestic traffickers. So like
Oh my
no.
God. Every word you say, I like come up with like 50 more conspiracies. But these
I
aren't even, I
know.
mean, they are conspiracies, but they're not theories. They're like in print, they're proven.
Yeah.
But even just about how like the border crisis is manufactured because, and it is the reason for human trafficking.
Yes.
And that is in Border and Rule by Harshawalia, which is like one of my best
Mm,
books. It really connected a lot of dots for me. But
yeah.
I think, yeah, it just, I mean, all these conspiracies, and it's so funny because, like, a conspiracy, like we said at the beginning, is like a group of people conspiring to do this one thing. But then
Yeah.
when you think about all the conspiracies, you could really connect all the conspiracies into one big conspiracy, and they all make sense. And yeah,
Conspiracy to stay in power, conspiracy to make money, conspiracy
literally,
to
those
have
are the two main
control over
reasons.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
so
checks out.
crazy. Well, I feel like, we could go off the deep end with this very
Yeah.
easily. I just think it's important to nod to because I like to hear about conspiracy theories. It helps me make sense of things.
Yeah.
But also, it comes back to like what our podcast is about is like these small ways that you can move things and take your power back and like interact with yourself and the world and the government, etc. Because these
Absolutely.
things are so big that I feel like that's the other thing with conspiracy theories. You might think about them and then be like, oh my God, all is lost. We can't
Yeah.
fix this. But you can. It's just like not the first thing that's going to get fixed. So it
Yeah.
needs to like kind of travel up the ladder, I think, in my
I
opinion.
totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, God, I'm coming up with 90 million other things to talk about. But this is I agree. And like lean on each other, dig in deeper, and like I don't think casting people out as conspiracy theorists is doing any good for us. And
No.
look, there are people who are questioning things just for the sake of questioning things and trying to undermine, you know, good systems or good individuals. Like, let's not do that, but also let's not be curious. Like, curiosity is massively important. It's human nature. Like, lean into that.
Even like what you just said about like the Catholic Church, there's a reason why it got so normalized. So I feel
Mhm.
like we should just be like blowing the lid off of things sometimes.
Yes,
So
agreed.
again, reminder to do that in our comments because I want to hear other conspiracy theories. Also, if you have a conspiracy theory about what happened at that Miami mall when they said there was aliens, tell me what that is because I haven't looked that far into it, but I just remembered that.
Oh,
And
I
I
don't
want to know what
remember
people
that.
think happened. Yeah, and one final one that I would love to hear a conspiracy theory on because I know it's a conspiracy. I can't put my
Mm.
finger on it. Pickleball.
Oh,
What are you guys doing? It's
that's
everywhere, and the way that they try to force you to do pickleball with
Mhm.
them, I'm like, why do you want me to do this so bad? This is a
Why?
cult. This is a conspiracy. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening here, but if someone could like connect those dots for me, because I do not trust pickleball whatsoever, unless you're like 55, iffy. But if you're like, yeah, pickleball, I do it every week. Why? What are you
That's
hiding? I'm
that's
scared.
really interesting. This is really interesting, and we should talk to Michael about that because he plays pickleball, but he was like a collegiate tennis player. And so like it's just like a fun thing to do with people who wouldn't be as good at tennis as him, but he does both. I think he just likes hitting things like that.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm-mm.
like I get the community aspect of it. I really do, but again, the overarching thing, something's going on there.
Yeah, these are
What's
questions that need
big
to be asked.
pickleball doing? I want to know who's behind big
Oh, why do
pickleball.
you call it that? I don't like it.
It's no, it's actually gross.
I don't like
Ew,
it at
I'm never gonna
all.
say that word again. No,
Mm-mm. We
no,
gotta
that.
put a stop to that.
Oh, that just ruined it for me. Okay, great, good. Yep.
Okay, well, this episode's going to be too long. This was meant to be a short mini episode, and it's like
Oops.
40 minutes long.
And
So,
we don't know
oops.
how to edit it, so it will not be cut down. But
I'm going to
that's
try, but
okay.
it might not work. You'll find out as a listener if it worked out or not.
Mhm.
Let us know how we did.
Great. Yeah. And Joe, I would like to apologize for. Well, God, I know so many Joes. Producer Joe, I would like to apologize for almost everything that we've said. Um,
Yes.
yes.
Also, yeah, just a side note, we are on a little break until Joe gets back. So this is just
Yes.
like the one time we're going to try doing this. And then Joe will come back. We'll do our final block for season one to finish our
Beginning in
25 episodes.
August. Yep.
It's going to be really good. I'm really
It's going to
excited
be
about
great.
it. And yeah,
Yeah.
leave the
Same
comments.
here.
Let us know. Give your feedback. We want to hear from you.
Well, thanks,
And
everybody.
thanks for coming.
I'm going to try to figure out how to stop the recording because I'm not entirely sure. But
I'm just going to freeze here until
take
it's
care.
done.
Yeah, that's probably a solid move. Okay. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.